Father God, I am just learning how to pray. Bear with me. First, I thank you for the life of everyone that's here with me. Then I thank you for the love you give me. Why? I don't know. I don't deserve it. And it hurts inside. Many a nights I cried. I called your name out loud. But didn't call you when I was doing good. I'm proud. And still you gave me love. I wasn't used to that. Most of the people that gave me love ended up taking it back. It's something new to me. So I'm asking you for time to adjust. Let me make it there. I will be one you can trust. What I stand for, I put my life on. I do. I guess what I'm asking is, show me how to stand for you. And I will rap for you, sing for you, preach for you, teach for you, reach for you. I will love you like you love me, unconditionally.
Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Beneath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. I turned my collar to the cold and damp. Hello darkness, my old friend.
And I will always be prepared for whatever the mission will be. Give the nutrition to me, and I'll properly digest it. And when I give it back, I'll show you where well invested. And whenever I go, before I go, let me give. Thanks to you, Lord, for my birth, for every day that I've lived. You gave me a love most of my life I didn't know was there. In the name of Jesus, I give you my life. You can.
Welcome. Oh no, am I muted? Please no. Yes, I think I'm not muted. Welcome, one and all. And we do mean all. It's your boy Nick Nilsson here. Guys, happy Sunday. Thank you for joining me today. Today's show, I think, is going to be a little bit different if you've known the channel. But if you know the subject matter, I think you're going to feel right at home. Wow. If you guys aren't familiar, there's a man named Ian Washburn who went by the name Idubbbz. I know him as Idubbbz, or as our buddy Northlander in the chat points out, iCucks. I won't call him by that name, but he is known by that name. Yeah. It's rough, but I'm seeing a light at the end of the tunnel. So I just want to say, this stream, we're going to be bringing people up to speed on this if they're not familiar with the man, very briefly. But if you clicked on this, I'm guessing you know more than me, right? So I'm here to at least offer a perspective that may not have been voiced yet, or has been, but I'm hoping to at least condense it or put it into words in this stream. So let's fucking go. Oh shit! Let's see. We got the chat up. Now, let me just, if you've never heard of this guy, this is the thing. Huge internet personality who had a crisis of conscience. What it was brought on by, we can get into that, or how his ideology was formed, we can examine that. But At the end of the day, he's in a relationship that I don't want to say isn't working, but it's not optimally productive. Let's just say that, right? Oof. And he now finds himself in a position where he's attempting to re-find himself in the social landscape, right? He's attempting to reassert the dog that I know is in him. I'm just seeing a chat here from a certain person, Rusty Shackelford. He says, "You look like Phineas and Ferb at the same time, the Amish version."
Oh my God!
No. Rusty, listen. I'm glad you're here today, right? Because this stream is exactly about the pain that you're putting me through. If I can't do it, I can't feed the trolls. I'm going to ignore you, Rusty. But be on your best behavior. The person we're examining similarly has been trolled relentlessly by the boys, Kino, Casin. These are two boys have been commenting on the world for a long time, right? PPP, also known as Ashton. These are two Canadian boys who talk about the world. And in the best ways, they go after both the left and the right. No holds barred, and they comment on the world. So they have been relentlessly berating this man, Idubbbz. I want to say for at least many months. And I've followed it because I just can't look away. It's a car crash, it's a dumpster fire, and I'll just expose myself right now. It's distracting me from the horrors of my own life. I look like Phineas and Ferb at the same time, the Amish version. Of course, I'm going to look at someone who's in a, I don't want to say worse position than me, but in a differently bad position than me, and focus on it. That's part of Idubbbz's critique of the MK Ultra he's been subjected to for so many months. He's similarly saying, well, we can get into it later, but today's show, I will be taking the role of public defender, right? I want to at least let my audience know what's going on, but first and foremost, I want to say this is not a lost cause, potentially, right? Potentially. How can I sum it up? Checks notes. Yes. How can I summarize essentially the position that we're in if I've done at least a ramshackle job of bringing people up to speed? By addressing Kino Casino, what Idubbbz has essentially done is admitted that their gaze defined him. Until this point, it was never really sure if he was watching it. But the saddest news is, as far as humiliation rituals go, he or his wife have been watching their own humiliation rituals to their own, I don't want to say detriment, but they're unable or unwilling. I think they just have ideological blinders that disallow them from hearing the criticism. And how painful is that? I've been in a position that myself, right? You just, there's something that keeps you from understanding what people are saying because your own weaknesses just block it out. It's just too painful. It's too painful to realize you're in a toxic relationship. It's too painful to realize that you're weak. I've had to realize that myself. Like, that's just the way that it is, right? So be it. Where from here? And that is where we stand right now with Idubbbz, right? He's acknowledged the trolls. He's admitted that they've entered his psyche, that they rule how he sees the world. And essentially, this is a realization I'm coming to myself. The more you explain yourself to the trolls, or the moment that you do, you just lost. Strength, essentially, and I'm telling this to myself, does not justify itself. That's the power behind the yes meme, right? We all know that. And Idubbbz was a version of that, right? Speaking the truth, looking at the world and saying, this is the way that it is. Saying the NF word. Powerful. Very powerful. Yeah. Rusty. Please don't make me ban you, Rusty. Please. You know what? I'm actually not even going to read the poor people's chat anymore. If you want to support this show, if you're a real man, you'll be paying me money. The real trolls pay me money to troll me. We don't have a sponsor for today's show, but I will be saying, or I will be accepting super chats. You can deferentially pay me for this incredible service I'm offering. So, oh, we've got one coming in right now. Cosmic, $19 or $20, bro, from Cosmic Butt Plug. It says, Nick, talk about the gruesome public murder. I'm body slamming my Uncle Russell to support you. Please do not do that. But, yeah, what can be said, guys? What can be said about that? I don't know. The only thing that comes to mind is how kind of strange, or, I mean, it's inevitable, but it was just strange to see all the videos coming out about it. I couldn't bear to do that myself, but I think we all know what it means. Or most of us know what it means and what we need to do about it. But obviously, this is the thoughts and prayers meme, but yeah, the biggest thing is just the family. Just please pray for that family. How sad is that? But thank you for the support, Cosmic. Thank you. Well, how do we start? I've got a bunch of assets that I haven't yet loaded. There's 100 things we could discuss. But before we do, guys, is this even going to work? Vastly unprepared. Let's see. Let's do this. Please like the stream, boys. Please like this stream. Let's see. Is the audio working on this? No. Hold on. Wait a minute, where is it?
Well, I'm trying to do my best here under really difficult circumstances.
Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video.
I'm a cock, fuck my lover.
Like the stream, boys. Like the stream.
Fuck my country, fuck
Numbers.
my race.
The like-dislike ratio was
Finish
like
on my
80-20.
face, and then hell, I'll drink your
Click the
cream.
like button on this
Just
video.
let me
Click the
lay
like button on this
between
video.
you and my
Click the like button on this
wife
video.
after you
Click the
have
like
your
button on this
way.
video.
That's our guy, right? That's our guy. That's the man who I'm attempting to defend and save, right? Why would I do this, right? Well, I understand the situation as this. We're witnessing a man who is on the precipice of ideological collapse, right? What does that look like? Well, essentially, checks notes. Oh, boys, I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready. Where is this? Oh no. Here we go. Yes, ideological collapse, right? What we're witnessing in Idubbbz is a genuine man who's lost his way, right?
Who can relate?
But Idubbbz, his recent misstep by addressing Kino Casino, it's understandable, right? Everyone wants to feed the trolls. Everyone's searching for validation, myself included, right? But it's not just YouTube drama. I'm hoping to contextualize this in a way where it's essentially like the parable of modern man under late liberalism. He's capitulated to humiliation, right? That's what it means when you look at the specter of the modern world and say, accept me. When you say, well, again, that's the whole thing about him learning empathy at 30. It's a programming. Not to say that people don't need empathy, but what he's expressing by saying I learned empathy at 30 is the world told me how to act, and I accepted that. Now, naturally, everyone's going to be determined by the events of this world, and yet maybe it is a distinction between how and what you're learning. But again, capitulating to humiliation, he tried to reinvent himself through progressive domestication, and that's one of the saddest things that I don't even begin to know how to address, the relationship between him and his wife. Whoo, Lord. Whoo, Lord. I'll just say this. If you guys know the lore, how this essentially kind of all started is she joined OnlyFans. And he accepted it. Now, that automatically is going to set off a lot of people. But the position that he's coming from essentially is I support my wife. And who would not want to do that? The issue is just he has a misunderstanding of I guess, boundaries or power or just general dynamics. And so the modern world will tell you none of that matters. Power should be inverted. Boundaries don't exist. And essentially, do whatever you want. Yeah, Northlander said, I would probably let Anisa ruin my life for a few years. No! No, brother, no! No, we can't. Well, I'll just fucking say it. Fake Muslim. What can be done with that? That's an untenable position right there. Pretending to be Muslim because you're 8% Lebanese. Getting the, what is it? Grievance Olympics points off of that. But then also doing OnlyFans. In some ways, that's the best kind, or the only kind of Muslim, the Muslim that exists in the observant Muslim who exists in a state of hypocrisy. It's too much. We don't have time to get into that in this stream. But again, that in some sense is the crux of this, right? I've described it this way. Ian rightly looks to his wife, as many men should do, to know what she's thinking. More men should do that with their wives. And yet, when he hears what she thinks, he makes that what he thinks. Bad idea, bro. Bad idea. Not just because it's the ideas of Anisa, but because it's the ideas of anybody else, right? You don't want to just be accepting wholesale what any person is taking you. And specifically in this context, she's looking to him to know, to understand the world. It should not work like this. So he's described himself. Let's see if I can, let's kind of get into the meat of this. And also, thank you boys in the chat. You can super chat the show also, but keep it going in the chat because this helps us grow and helps me get a better sense of who's actually interested in this. Let me see.
Up and people have made fun.
Okay. Well, we might as well start with this.
Comparing them, Dad was dominant and got finishes. Idubbbz just got the piss beat out of him, so I don't know. Let's read some more of the comments. Let's see what else is out there. Because this is one of the best parts for me about Idubbbz, is that this guy gets all of these views, and not a single person supports him. There I am in the thumbnail. This is something that never should have happened in a million years. You have PPP, greasy, sweaty pig, PPP, in his lumberjack outfit, disheveled hair. Yeah, in the Idubbbz thumbnail, like, I'm gonna have this shit framed and put on my wall. I'm happier than a pig in shit. Look at this. This one, Booters goes, imagine being a normal person and trying to watch this.
That's the vibe, essentially, right? But that's why I'm here. Hopefully we can defend Idubbbz. Hopefully, not that he would see this, but just to give him some... again, if he's watching the trolls, who knows? So I hopefully want to just give some contextualization for this, right? He's being humiliated on a public stage. Oh, do I even have the... I've got... Let's see. I've got too much stuff. Let's see. Oh, it's all too brutal, boys. When I look at the evidence of this man's life, it's just too brutal. Like, let me like, again. How horrifying is this? How horrifying is this? Bro, you're just seeing people that are very much affected by the world. tattoos. That's another thing, right? Like, tattoos are great, but this is a great sort of example of this, right? So Ian has tattoos, but they're tattoos that Anisa has picked out for him. Not a good strategy. It's emblematic of the thing I was talking about, right? She looks to him to guide the relationship, to guide the world, to make sense of the chaos. And essentially, she sees puppy dog eyes or a broken raped man. Oh, it's too brutal. It's too brutal. And when she sees that, she panics and she says, I have to make sense of the world. I have to dig into tradition and, I don't know, modernity, I guess, and attempt to find meaning in this chaos, because there is chaos, right? And so when she's thinking, let's do something fun, let's individuate ourselves in today's world. Let's get tattoos. Tattoos signify a kind of, I guess, a strength or something. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's like a throwback to when only tough bikers and sailors had tattoos. But yeah, it seems to be the cope, right? And so typically you would do that through individual expression, right? You have a tattoo of something that is meaningful to you. There's something in your life. Sometimes it's geographic. Sometimes it's, interpersonal, whatever. Sometimes it's just a meme. And that has significance to you. Other times, though, when you don't have that substance and you just, I guess, want to get tattoos, you just pick something off the wall. You just walk in. You're seeking an experience, I guess. You walk in. You want the end result, and you say, not that one. What do you think? Like, give me that one. Give me that one for the rest of my life. Like, I know it's obvious you can get them removed, but bro, what a world. What a world. So, she does that. That's bad enough. But to subject another person to that, and for them to consent to it, not because they want the tattoo or anything it represents. Maybe they want to project strength in some sense. But in reality, all he's saying is, yes, Anisa, I respect you. I want to honor your time or whatever. That's the most charitable definition I can give. It's possible that because of the boxing and stuff, he's just too far gone and he's just on autopilot. I reject that, though. I would say to find the good in this man, he is attempting to just sort of, I don't know, just get on her good side, because who knows? Maybe there's been, there's a certain codependency there that's not healthy. Just looking through my other material, seeing... Yeah, this kind of says it all, right? This is from Creator Clash. I think the second one. Now, this man has 2 L's under his belt for boxing, but I commend him for stepping up, right? And I think he understands he did the right thing as well. He just wasn't prepared for it. So maybe redemption looks like going back into the ring. That's really going to depend on CTE and the spirit of this man, if he's willing to even do that. But this dude can win again, or to say win again, this dude can win for the first time and truly establish himself in a world that has otherwise rejected him. But all that is kind of predicated, I would say, on ideological collapse. Let's kind of reframe this in terms of ideology, right? He succumbed to the humiliation ritual of the world, which is, you're white, can't say the N-word. You're racist, you've been homophobic in the past. You hurt people's feelings, Ian. Change everything about the way you view the world because someone's feelings were hurt.
Oh my God!
Like, and again, there but for the grace of God go I. I've experienced this as well. You know, I'm not any better than him. Sometimes you buckle, right? But that doesn't have to be that way, right? You can choose life. You can reject modernity. But his new sense of self, like this idea that he's reinvented himself in some way, and it's not just a hollow facade. He wants to be progressive. He wants to maybe be wholesome a little bit. He wants to be modern. He wants to comment on the modern world and provide an analysis that resonates with people. I think that's clear. He did it in the past. He wants to do it again, but now he's just doing it through a different lens. This is fragile. This is fragility at its finest. That's why he does look so weak and defeated, not only because of the actual physical defeats, but here's another one we can look at. And let me get back to my own humiliation ritual here. Rusty Shackelford says, no, babe, it's called Nick Nilsson now. Yes, I'm still commenting on commenters, but they're really cartoony and less schizo now. Yes, he's streaming another stream. Babe, wait, don't go. Okay, right? Well, it all just... Listen, I should have learned this lesson already, guys. I cannot be... faggot. That lesson I should learn as well. Oh, we have a super chat. Let's see. Rigid Kid Gaming for $1.99. Thank you, Rigid Kid. Nick, talking about another gay retard to deflect that he's a gay retard. Classic Nick Nilsson. Okay, well now, all right, look, guys, please be respectful, okay? Listen, I'm trying to help another man. Sometimes when all else fails, all you can do is attempt to reach out to another person. I'm going to cope with that right now, right? But, let's see. Yeah, again, the fragility that you express to the world by meeting, I don't want to say meeting it on its terms, because that's very much a crucial part of, I guess, everything. But maybe I can just express it as drinking the Kool-Aid. Like, again, it's 2025. We're nearing the end of 2025, boys. If you're really still holding on to the, as cringe as it is to say, woke mindset, bro, my I don't know what to say. How would you even begin to reach somebody like this other than bullying and humiliating them publicly, right? Sometimes that's what it takes. And I think Idubbbz understands that as well, right? He understands that bullying works. I think that's why this strategy by Kino Casino was so effective, right? It works. It doesn't work for everyone. It only works for a certain type of person. That's what I want to say as well, right? Like, I always thought Idubbbz, redemption arc never, right? Redemption arc never. He's too far gone. I've seen this man sit in the bog forever, right? His head's under the water. There's no way he's coming up. But that's exactly how baptism works, my boy. That's the metaphor, right? Idubbbz embodies the tragedy of many men today. Ironic detachment, that's how it starts. That's the content cop and the tee-hee, all the fun memes, right? Moves into domesticated submission, right? He wants security. He wants the finer things of life. He looks at what other people are doing and he attempts to do that as well. From there on, it goes to humiliation. That's where we've been, I think, for the last many years. But right around the corner, possible reawakening. I don't want to oversell that because it's not up to me. It's up to this man, right? But he has it within him, I would say. He has the archetype, essentially, of a person who knew the truth, stepped away from it, coped, lived in fear, lived under MK Ultra, essentially. Not only from his own wife, who's been humiliating him publicly for years. Do I have the... Let me see... but not just his wife, but also Kino Casino. And that's who he's willing to respond to. His wife, not so much. Not so much. I don't think he's willing to recognize that his wife has done this. In his recent stream addressing Kino Casino, he says that he's loved his wife more and more with years. And that is the way that it should go. And yet I would say there's unresolved things. I don't know that he's had this conversation with her. If he has, good for him. But until he does, there will be fundamentally broken things in this relationship, which is, he needs to say, Anisa, sit the fuck down. You have been publicly humiliating me for years. When you exposed that I have IBS to the world while I was attempting to raise charity money that I probably kept myself anyways, right? Or I don't know how that worked, but it was after he lost with black eyes. I think even 2 black eyes. You want to talk about humiliation rituals there? We don't have time. Let's not get canceled today, boys. But with 2 black eyes, he sat there next to his wife, and she's like, "Aren't you shitting all the time? Aren't you Do I have this clip? Yes. Let's watch this right now. Yes. Oh, brutal, brutal, but it has to be done. It has to be done. We have to confront this. Do we, though? Guys, do we have to confront this?
Are you serious? This is torture. You're torturing me and everyone else watching.
Yes, we do have to confront this, right? And so does Ian as well.
I just want to ask you if you've always been shitting your pants. Because since I've known you, you've always...
Sorry, I think that's pretty quiet. Let me do this again, because this needs to be understood. I know everybody has probably seen this already, but Ian needs to see this again. And I guess maybe he didn't have black eyes. I was thinking about another stream. But same humiliation ritual, different day.
If you can. I just want to ask you if you've always been shitting your pants.
No.
Because since I've known you, you've always had, like, IBS. You've always been shitting yourself.
Yeah.
Bro. Let's see. Yeah. Not how do you recover from that, but I can't believe that we're seeing a man subjected to this. And so you will just have to confront that, right? You'll just have to say, bitch, don't do that. The fuck are you doing? And we've seen this guy before. We've seen him scare Anisa on stream. I remember the one where she says something about Nickelback. He bursts in the room and says, bitch, are you talking about Nickelback? He goes, oh my God. In some sense, he doesn't want to do that, but again, you have to keep her on her toes, right? Like, you think, so he's been psyoped, I think, into thinking that no, when I'm tough, when I'm boisterous, that's when I'm hurting women. That's when I'm not respecting women. Bro, what are you talking about? That's how you got her in the first place. Well, I want to say that's how you got her in the first place. The fame and the money that came attached to it was how you got her in the first place. But what she recognized other people recognized, she was not attracted to this herself, apparently, or at least wanted to kill it with every fiber of her being. But what she recognized other people were attracted to is that you are able to speak your mind. You are able to command some kind of influence over the world. People are attracted to that. That's how you built a fan base. Anisa was not. She was attracted to, essentially, the trappings of that. Or at least subconsciously so. Like, I won't say she wasn't excited by the aura that you commanded at the time. She's definitely not now, though, brother. She is definitely not. That's so sad. Essentially, yeah, we've seen a woman who, in front of her own man, has been courting other men, sidling up to them, and just lavishing upon them attention and praise more than she could ever offer for him. This is the instance of Gorgeous George. This is the training partner who trained Ian for the boxing events that he ran. Let me see. Oh gosh. Do I have a clip about this, boys? 1 second.
Well, I'm trying to do my best here under really difficult circumstances.
Yeah, Dr. D says, humiliating a person requires no force except their own. Bullying requires the transgression of God's law and is not in line with natural law. Well, Dr. D, I appreciate that. But in my understanding, it's all about friction, right? In some sense, it's about providing the right incentives in the fallen world that allow people to recognize and change for themselves, right? Like, how would you even attempt to express God's love or to a person who's unwilling to receive it, to a person who has no conception of God and actively hates them, who is actively, not of their own volition, siding with, incredibly dark forces that are ripping our world apart. That's how programming and brainwashing works. Sometimes a brute force approach just works. I wouldn't advocate that for those that can't handle it, but in Ian I see somebody who can. He was the guy who said, who this was his whole strategy, and this is why it does rub people the wrong way, right? He's pulling the ladder up from himself, right? He's saying, listen, I used to call people nigger faggots. I used to bully literally anyone who I thought crossed my path the wrong way. That seemed to be working at the time, and yet I developed some kind of complex around it. So Ian understands the idea that brute force can have tremendous results. He's just not willing to accept it for himself, or at least until he responded to the trolls, he was not willing to consent that it was having an effect on him. That's a breakthrough if I could ever see it. But Dr. D also adds several key biblical principles demonstrate why the divinely grounded natural law does not and cannot justify bullying. Wow, guys, thank you very much for watching the show. We'll end it right here. Well, look, again, bullying, is it bullying? Let me see if I can even do this any kind of justice. Was Christ bullying himself by taking up his cross? Was he bullying himself in the garden when he asked the Father to take the cup from him? What is bullying being mean to people? Again, I understand maybe bullying is the wrong word, right? Speaking with a rigorous honesty and attempting to establish a congruency between what's happening inside and what you're putting on the outside. That's what we see, or that's not what we see when we see the face of this man. And again, projection, all that, I'm willing to accept that. But look at this guy. First look at this man and then look at myself, right? Because again, I don't want... The idea behind bullying is often, I guess, punching down. I'm just as fucked and as broken as this man in many ways. So maybe if I can draw the heat off myself for that. But again, there's no excuse, bro. This is central as well to Ian's critique, which is like, oh, if they really cared about somebody suffering, would they be telling them how they're suffering? Yes. Yes. You don't like it? Again, this is in some sense central to what I've been doing in the background of attempting to build a community around the idea of agape love. Whoops. Okay. I'm soothing myself with music as I attempt to address these issues. But in some sense, love, again, people say love is caring, love is kind, love gives of itself. And in its highest expressions, it's something that's known as agape love. This is a Greek term perfected in Christianity. But agape love is understanding redemptive goodwill for all men, right? It is not a self-serving love. It seeks nothing in return. And it's grounded, essentially, in an understanding of that it should be given from oneself, right? Without expectations on it. That's not incompatible with what I understand as bullying, right? Which is attempting to encourage with a kind of blunt reality behind it. I think Rusty Shackelford knows what that's all about, right? Yeah, like again, sometimes you have to call a spade, right? I'm sick of this idea that I can't look at this man and say, I see something broken. Now, does that reveal something about myself? Yes, I'm willing to take that L. Please bully me as much as you want. Because I do understand that it is in the spirit of love, right? Nobody would be watching this unless there was something that they found interesting about it. And this is how it works. So I'm willing to take I'm willing to at least understand those perspectives. And I think Idubbbz is as well, right? If he's responding to the trolls, he's already been MK Ultraing himself, viewing his relationship, but he's just been deflecting. He's saying, oh, these people that are making fun of me, they're the bad guys. I can't listen to them because PPP from Kino Casino is fat. And Andy Worski did drugs once. He's the cocaine guy. So naturally, and they're incels, and they're racist. So obviously none of their critiques about, and again, they've been watching his show more than any of his own fans, and none of his fans have the courage or analysis to provide these insights to him. That's, in some sense, the most hopeful degree to which he's been watching his own trolls humiliate him, is that he wants this feedback. And is that bullying? Yes. All right, Dr. D-Head, we've got him on board. Guys, we don't need any more subs. Do not sub to this channel. Dom the channel right now, boys.
Oh my God!
Let's fucking go. But again, that's the thing. Like, again, there is something beyond the standard lovey-dovey thing. I see this in progressive Christianity all the time. Bro, don't be mean. That says something in the book, but don't listen to that. It probably doesn't, right? They were probably talking about something completely different. No, bro, no. So yeah, listen. I don't have all the answers, but I'm attempting to explore this myself. If you appreciate what's going on here, you can, let's see, like this stream. Pause for a moment. I think my system is crashing here, guys.
Well, I'm trying to do my best here under really difficult circumstances.
Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video.
Alright, let's go. Hold on.
Also, for all the people who touch grass, I want to remind you to click the like button on this video.
I'm a cuck. Fuck my lover. Fuck my sister. Fuck my mother. Fuck my country. Fuck my race.
The like-dislike ratio was
Finish on my face, and then hell, I'll drink your
Click the
cream.
like button on this video. Click the like button on this video. Click the like button on this video. Click the like button on this video.
So that is a man worth saving, worth redemption, right?
Also, for
this is a man who is not too far gone, who is seeing the light, who is moving in the right direction, even if he's taking missteps while doing it, right?
Who can relate? Woo!
Yeah. What else can be said? Maybe I just want to cut it there. There's so much to get into. Like, again, I've been following this like a retard for far too many months. But essentially, at the end of the day, I just want to say that this is a person who is making progress, right? This is not a... Oh, let's see. More super chats. Oh, come on. Can I read this? Can I make this bigger? Rigid Kid Gaming. Google Nick Nilsson. Your homo life is on full display. There's even a for affinity account of tied to your private email that is called Wubsy Wolf Nilsson. Bio says, just a butt-loving, butt-chugging, whittle wolf supremacist. Build the wall in my ass. This is not true, bro. Don't slander me like this. The fuck are you talking about? I get that you're, I guess, trying to support the show. None of this is true. And please do not Google me. The fuck? Yikes. Yikes, guys. This is not going good. I think we will probably have to end it soon here. Yeah. I knew Nick was lupine. Damn it! Damn it, I'm getting exposed on the world stage. The humiliation ritual continues, boys. That's maybe all I can say, right? We've got a stalwart man here, the Ian Washburn, who has been ritually humiliated by his wife, by the internet. I guess that's his own making. That's the bed that he made, but it does not have to be this way. It does not have to be this way, right? In some sense, Yeah. I'll just summarize it with this. Evola, right? Julius Evola. In so many words, again, his books are long, I try to remember the best I can, but he says that he expresses how the modern man becomes enslaved when he seeks validation in the profane world of mass society. This is encapsulated in the catchphrase, reject modernity, embrace tradition, right? And what that looks like, I think, is going to be different for the different peoples. I'm a Swede myself, so different people have different traditions, but what are Ian's? He's essentially revoked his by taking the name of his wife. Like, that is also emblematic of just sort of a deeper need for acceptance. I think he didn't take, again, so Anisa describes this as, Washburn is such an objectively ugly name. Bro, when the demoralization hits peak levels, you're told that your own family name is just gross. How sad is that? How sad is that? So he takes on her name because who cares, right? Like, what's the difference? How about the subtle effect that can have, right? I think in some ways that's because I don't want to tell tales out of school. I don't know the lore too well, but I think he was never close with his father, right? Oops.
I've abandoned my child! I've abandoned my boy!
Yeah. That's tough. I don't really know how to... I wish I was better prepared to comment on that. But that's something I think many men feel. That's the whole appeal of Jordan Peterson, and also why many people hate Jordan, or used to hate Jordan Peterson. There's better reasons to hate him now, right? But it used to be that people were like, oh, clean your room? That's crazy. Why are all these people idolizing this Canadian, liberal? But it's precisely for the reasons that we're all aware of, right? This isn't nothing new. It's just there's a lack of elders, there's a lack of tradition, there's a lack of initiation in our modern world. Oh no. And Weekly is counting the times that I say in some sense, no, we have to end this. We have to end this. He says, do you think divorce comes before the bankruptcy? Yeah, that's the thing, bro. I gotta say, look, what God has put together, let no man tear asunder, and yet it may just be broken, and they can divorce because infidelity, right? Maybe not explicitly, but if you're whoring on OnlyFans, I would say that's an impropriety worthy of divorce under Christ's own stipulations. Not that it needs to happen. I think if that's a correct understanding of the gospel of, Matthew 7 or something? Matthew and Mark? If that is the correct interpretation, they don't need to divorce, but I think they already are on the verge of bankruptcy. That's why we are actually seeing him come out of his shell, because he wanted to lean into the Hassan thing. He wanted to establish himself as a bread tuber or a streamer who can just kind of lazily talk about nothing. I'm speaking of myself here, right? Who can lazily talk about nothing and somehow earn a living on it. Not gonna happen, bro. Not gonna happen. He needs to put effort into what he does, and yet, because he's pigeonholed himself by taking on the ideology of other people, in this case Anisa, he's completely restrained himself, right? He's completely indoctrinated himself just by attempting to please someone else. And boy, ain't that a lesson we can all learn from, right? Yeah, and so in many ways, he stands at the precipice of ideological collapse and rebirth, right? We can see something incredible here, but it's up to him. How does it begin? Just with rigorous honesty, assessing the things that are wrong with his life and saying, okay, I'm close to bankruptcy. I just moved on into my mother-in-law's basement. Not always a bad move. Look, sometimes you have to, I know this from my living situation, sometimes you have to, bunker down or whatever? Buckle down and scrimp and save. That's not bad. But sadly, they're feigning affluence. Cringe. Fucking cringe. Who cares? Say, yeah, she ruined my career. That's the first thing you have to say. She ruined my career, but fuck you, I'm staying with her, right? Get fucked, this is my wife. How dare you besmirch her? But it's on me because I allowed her to do OnlyFans or didn't shut it down immediately. Again, being proud, because he will need to be proud of it because it's not going away. Those pictures are not going away, and the more he improves himself, in some sense, the more it's going to be held against him, right? But essentially where he is he needs to be able to accept that, okay, yeah, half, I don't know, 100,000 people have seen the most intimate parts of my wife's body. Crazy. But I'm willing to accept that because I'm moving forward. I'm not allowing her to do that again. Not because I don't respect women, but because what's mine is mine. And that puts a premium on it that cannot be bought with money, bro. You cannot buy that with money. That you're the only person, not only person, but you're one of a small amount of people who've seen your wife naked. The bigger that group gets, the more it destroys your brain. I'll say that. Yes. Kevin Spacey, American Beauty. Yeah, that's what he's saying about disavow, but I'm sure I've not seen that movie. But yeah, essentially, you can't be doing that. But I'm glad he accepts it or has told himself that he accepts it. Like he's fine with her doing OnlyFans, because you can't put that genie back in the bottle, bro. You cannot.
Oh shit!
It's just not going to happen. So good that he does that, but just laying down the law. And yeah, what else? I think that's basically it. Yeah, he could go back into boxing. He could, what else? And Northlander says, who's the sponsor today? We're still sponsored by Kingshot, bro. Always sponsored by Kingshot. You know those mobile games, they just love giving people money. But, yeah, otherwise I don't have a new sponsor for you guys. Anything else? Let's see. Oh, yeah, let me cover this actually. I'll spend a little more time with the boys. Essentially, there's, I don't want to say a development in the Nick Fuentes world, but Noel, also known as Jersh, the feeder from KiwiFarms. You already know how terminally online I've been in the past few years, but this dude, this guy gave a rundown of Nick Fuentes, right? Nick Fuentes is going to be blowing up, guys. He's doing it. Shout out to the Cat Boy, right? I think he's incredibly charismatic. He's got a great, he's doing great things, and he will continue to do great things. Partially because he's got that raw talent, as Tucker observed, but also because he needs to succeed. It's strategic for him to succeed. I'll just say that. And so, let me see. Okay. Let me pull this up for the boys. This might not be the time, but with Kirk gone, a lot of his young audience will move over to Fuentes. Oh wait, you guys can't see this. Hold on. Here we go. This might not be the time, But with Kirk gone, a lot of his young audience will move over to Fuentes. To me, talks of right solidarity can never include Nick Fuentes. Seeing Sam Hyde of all, a 40-year-old man, kneel to him disgusts me. Nick only cares about himself. Yikes. A Nick who only cares about himself? That's cringe, bro. He has blamed a teen boy for getting groomed by top groyper General Ali Akbar, a brown Muslim pedophile, and had his fans dox him for making him look bad. Cozied up with Sarka, an Albanian brown Muslim pedophile who openly declared on multiple occasions, "I am a pedophile," and talked about having another right-wing influencer's very young daughter betrothed to him. Look, I'll just say that's probably a joke, but even still, associating with these people, rough, right? Is financed by Andrew Tate, a brown Muslim sex trafficker who hates white people and especially white women outside of their involvement in his pornography and sex trafficking rings. Well, that's just undeniable. I know people are kind of, I guess, drawn into Tate's whole thing. He has cars, I guess. Even Ty Lopez has a... Well, maybe I'm a fucking idiot. Even Ty Lopez has more of an appeal. Pointing at books, to me, is at least a vague, vain gesture of like, hey, there's something more to this world than just having a car. You're seeing the car, but what's more important than the car? Knowledge. That at least would get me faster than what Tate is doing. But I come from a different generation, right? Yeah, and Sick Parvia Magnus says, shout out to my boy Epstein, right? You already know, right? This is we've got a good crowd here today. So he's idolized and promoted Kanye West for president, a black man with schizophrenia who has sucked Lil Boy's penis. Oh, bro, you can't put that on Kanye, bro. He's at least trying to work through it. I get it. If you're truly you maybe you think a certain way about Kanye. I couldn't love Kanye more. I don't want him... I don't want him to, but I respect what he's doing. Let's see. While dressed in Kanye drip and listening to Kanye music, did a stream where he sat in darkness after a public breakup with America First treasurer Jaden McNeil. I don't know about that lore specifically, but bro, losing a home. Okay, maybe I'm defending Nick in this case. Losing a homie, that's always tough. Sometimes you have to dress in the Kanye drip and listen to Kanye music in the dark. Whatever. I can't actually hold that against him. Claims to be a white advocate, but hates white women more than anything else on earth, and immediately denounces being white when pressed by any level of authority. Yikes. Okay. That's tough. There's a bit of a PR disaster here. But authority can be scary, I guess. I'm just trying to reason this out for the boys, right? Okay, so that's the thing, right? He's half Latino or whatever. So, or his dad is Mexican. Yeah, that's tough. That is tough. That's kind of the Gypsy Crusader thing too. I think also, what was it? Goyim Defense League, right? Handsome Truth. He's half Jewish. Like, I don't know. It's so tough being caught into between two worlds, right? How tough is that? And everybody can relate to that in some sense. Just the idea that you sense yourself a certain way, and yet, I don't know. So, and that's the idea of being pressed by level of authority, right? Basically, anybody says, oh, they call Nick Fuentes a white supremacist in, I don't know, on MSNBC or something. He says, oh yeah, I'm the Mexican white supremacist. How does that work, right? These are just fumbles that he's going to make early on, right? These are, yes, we need receipts for this. Shout out to KiwiFarms. But, like, what else can he do? Yeah, see, now I'm defending Fuentes as well. This was supposed to be a defending Idubbbz thing. Well, let's finish this out. Had no consistent politics outside of self-aggrandizement, anti-Zionism, and hating white women. Despite this, he... Okay, well, let's unpack that first of all. Self-aggrandizement, that's just the name of the game, right? That's the internet. That's how you do things, I guess. And anti-Zionism, yeah, that's the other thing where, look, just people are noticing, right? yeah, that's a whole kettle of worms we can't get into. And hating white women, well, we all know why that is. Frustration, right? There's frustration. I'll just say that. I don't want to malign the man. I'll just say it's frustration. Frustration at the world. Frustration at himself. Yeah. Despite this, he lives in Chicago, mere blocks away from mommy for reasons unknown. Bro, don't knock a man for living close to mom. Despite his incredible wealth, has never developed any property to make something useful and material for his involvement. Well, I'm exposing myself right there. Was involved in January 6th, received no charges, and blamed his own fans who followed him to the Capitol for getting arrested. These people had their lives destroyed at his behest, and he doesn't care. That's sad. That's sad. But I think if you knew what he was dealing with at the time, or at least knew what they held over his head, that might explain things a little bit more. Claims to have woke up the youth to the Jewish question despite the war in Gaza and pro-Hamas leftists like Hassan doing 1,000 times more work to hurt Zionism and Jews than anything Fuentes can honestly take credit for. This blew my mind, bro. Talk about transcending the left-right divide. That's wild. To consider that. The Turk Roach himself stepping up to one of the most insurmountable issues in our world. Not the Jays specifically, but just manipulation in general. This is not a domain reserved to any one people. My view is just that it is, for whatever reason, seems to be very much per capita observable. That's why the stereotype exists, right? And the more we can kind of just acknowledge that and recognize that, damn it, and Wiki's got in some sense counter is going up, guys. But in some sense, it really is this way that, let's just call a spade, right? Without hate, just understanding that, look, things have been wronged, people have been wronged, our women have been raped, our children have been sold. And we got to do something, right?
Who can relate?
We got to do something, but we do not have to act out of hatred. I just want to soberly assess the world and say, what's up with this? Why does this keep happening? and to tie things back to Idubbbz, he's noticing the same things as well, boys. He's noticing the same things as well. Rusty Shackelford, I did not say that. Thank you very much. Or did I? Let's continue here. All groypers are little piggy banks to be robbed. He is going to smash you open, take everything you're worth, and leave you for dead or in prison. All Fuentes cares about is Fuentes. Wow. Yeah. And I opined here, brutal but mostly fair takedown, yet none of this will stop him. He's just going to keep growing. It's part of the plan. Not being charged for J6 is precisely because he was compromised in some way by J6 or before. That's my take. Prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong, bro. Please prove me wrong. And I, at least, even the most heinous things here at the top, I would say, in many ways, unforgivable things, I would be willing to forgive this man for that, crazy as that sounds, bro. But the only reason why I would say that is because I forgive in order to be forgiven. That's a Christian concept, and that's just how it works. That's the formula. I have to forgive. But I do not have to be a victim. I do not have to surrender. None of this needs to look fake and gay and servile. Forgiveness, rightly, is only done out of a position of power. You see this and experience this. It can be incorrectly done out of a position of slavery and servility. You can forgive someone in that sense. Cringe. But true forgiveness can only come out of a position of power. That's just how it works.
I'm trying to do my best here under really difficult circumstances.
I think that's it, boys. Dom the channel, like the fucking video. And, oh, actually, one more thing before we go. Let's see. If you guys aren't following, I've been following a guy who has an amazing channel. Rhetorically Defective. This guy doesn't need my help, but I just wanted to shout him out because this dude is killing it, bro. He's got incredible stuff. And this most recent video, I definitely recommend watching this. We're watching a brother ascend, bro. It is wild to see this guy hit levels of insight I was just not prepared for. This dude is killing it. So great, subscribe, Dom that channel. But other than that, there's really not much else to say other than thank you for watching, comment, and thanks for all the chats. But besides that, not much else to say other than we will see you in the circle. Thank you, boys.
Let us pray. Father God, I am just learning how to pray. Bear with me. First, I thank you for the life of everyone that's here with me. Then I thank you for the love you give me. Why? I don't know. I don't deserve it. And it hurts inside. Many a nights I cried. I called your name out loud. But didn't call you when I was doing good. Too proud. And still you gave me love. I wasn't used to that. Most of the people that gave me love ended up taking it back. It's something new to me. So I'm asking you for time to adjust. Let me make it there. I will be one you can trust. What I stand for, I put my life on, I do. Guess what I'm asking is, show me how to stand for you. And I will rap for you, sing for you, preach for you, teach for you, reach for you. I will love you like you love me, unconditionally.
Because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Beneath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. I turned my collar to the cold and damp. Hello darkness, my old friend.
And I will always be prepared for whatever the mission will be. Give the nutrition to me. Now I'll properly digest it. When I give it back, I'll show you where it will invest it. And whenever I go, before I go, let me give.